Now, so I hear you have your sixth book out,
Yes, indeed.
and it's part of your series.
Right. My name's Julie Kramer, and I write a series set in the desperate world of television news. And it's a world I know well. I spent a career as an investigative television news journalist. So it gives me lots of material to draw on. I'm one of the write what you know kind of authors.
I think that makes sense.
Well, it enables you to write with authority. And I find that the writing process is easier if I know what I'm writing about. Sometimes if there's a particular scene that's not working so well for me, it suggests to me that maybe I need to do some more research on that scene. And that then allows me to write with authority on that particular aspect of the story.
And how did you make that transition from TV to writing fiction?
Well, often when I would write a news story, I would find myself thinking, darn the facts. If it wasn't for these facts, boy, could I tell a heck of a story. But rules are rules, and when it comes to news, the facts are everything.
Right.
But all journalists deep down think that we have a novel inside of them, and eventually we have to put up or shut up. So when I sat down to try and write fiction, I actually expected it to be easier. But I found myself missing the facts and kind of craving the facts.
Right, because the facts are just there, and then you just start telling the facts.
After a career on the straight and narrow, making stuff up felt like cheating, so I had to work things through before I felt free enough to kind of write that sort of a story. But when I did, I found that news was an excellent preparation for writing fiction. I could type fast, I could write lean and mean, I was good at deadlines, and I have literally interviewed hundreds of people in my career, many of them on the best or worst days of their lives. And that has helped me, I think, develop an ear for dialogue.
Yeah, I can see that.
Plus, I also totally believe into the concept that truth is stranger than fiction. And as a writer, if you accept that, it's really freeing. Because, if you do your job right, people will believe anything. And I know that from having been in the news business. And readers also know that, because if they watch the news, there's nothing as crazy in my books as what they'll see in the news, on a typical day.
Right. Yeah, I really like that truth is stranger than fiction, because then you don't have to worry about, is this too fantastical for readers to believe it?
If you do your job right, people will believe anything. It kind of just comes down to execution, I think.
And what do your former colleagues think about your book series?
Well, my former colleagues from TV news, sometimes they wish I wasn't quite so candid in what I was writing. They'll say things like, did you really have to tell them if it bleeds, it leads? Things like that.
Yeah.
But I do find that, I have good material from the business, because it is the kind of a job where somebody can, get pulled into various crimes in the course of doing their job.
Oh, okay.
So it does make it more, believable.
Oh, okay. And how long does it take you to write, one book?
Well, it takes me about a year, because that's how long they give me.
Okay. And I know the sixth book is coming out now.
The sixth book came out just a few months ago, and now I'm working on another one. The sixth book is Delivering Death, and in it my TV reporter protagonist gets a mysterious package in the mail of the newsroom, and it contains teeth, fresh teeth.
Wow, that's a strong image.
And, as she, follows the clues, she's pulled into a deadly identity theft ring and wants to do stories about identity theft because she thinks it's important for viewers to know. But her TV news director boss thinks that she will get higher ratings if she covers a wedding at the Mall of America, a giant mass wedding.
And is that based on anything that actually happened to you when you worked in?
Well, all my books have a little bit of, reality in them. You take reality and you twist them.
Right. And is the character based on you, or do you bring a lot of yourself into?
There's a little bit of me, but there's a little bit of a lot of people that I've worked with, and sometimes they do recognize lines from the book of things that have happened to them.
And then, do they like that, or do some people get annoyed?
The people seem to like that. But
I would be flattered if someone put me in a book.
But a lot of people who've never been in any of my books are convinced they're in them, and a lot of people who might be in them never see themselves.
That is so interesting. And when you first started writing it, did you set it out to be a series?
I wrote my first book, Stalking Susan, as a standalone book, but the publisher wanted to know, can you do any more of these? And so, 6 books later, I guess I can.
And do you plan to do a 7th one in the same series, or do you think you'll do a standalone?
Well, I'm working on the 7th one now, but, part of you always wants to be working on something else, so I would, I wouldn't rule out doing a standalone at some point.
And do you think that will also be about the world of TV news, or did you want to?
I think that would be something totally different.
Oh, okay. Oh, very interesting. Well, thanks so much for speaking with us.
Well, thanks so much for having me.